Today's topic is what's the story behind your sale? My tagline for my business is exploring the story behind the sale. And if you go to my website, you'll see several different sailboats, and you'll hear me talk about sailboats a lot if you come and see me in therapy. These sailboats are a form of symbolism. They represent people. And so I believe as a counselor, I help people to explore the story behind their sail. We each are sailboats, sailing across the ocean to our different destinies. Nobody sees the wind or the turmoil that goes on behind that sail that pushes it into its different directions. My role as a counselor is to help people to explore those stories, to explore their truths, and further understand about themselves as a sailboat so that they can reach their destiny in a timely fashion. Today, I had the pleasure of hearing or reading a quote from a dear classmate of mine on Facebook. And when I saw it, it was kind of confirmation of my tagline, but it also just so wonderfully articulated what it is that I try to convey to people when I work with them in therapy. So I want to quote it today, and then I want to elaborate on it just a bit. So the quote comes from Elatio Johnson Jackson. Thank you, Elatio, for operating in your gift and operating in your purpose. The way we fight others, especially when we feel like we've been wronged, tells a lot about our story. The word says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. When you are angry, feel like you've been wronged, your truth comes out. The world will witness what's inside of you. Whether it's unforgiveness, love, peace, hatred, whatever is in your heart, your mouth will speak it. Life or death. This is so very true in our individual walk, our individual journey, as well as in our relationship journeys. Sometimes when we speak to our spouses, what may come out is a venomous statement. It may be a very venomous statement that seems completely arbitrary to what's going on in that particular argument. Usually, when venomous statements are spewed, there's some type of hurt embedded in there. There's some element of unforgiveness embedded in there. And so, for whatever reason, and I'll just speculate or hypothesize, usually the reason lies in an inability to be vulnerable and transparent with our partner. And so, in order to avoid being transparent or vulnerable, we quickly clothe ourselves in a defense mechanism called anger, sometimes fear. And we use that anger and fear to protect ourselves from being vulnerable, from being repeatedly hurt. And so what comes out of our mouth really is a defense statement. A defense statement that may sound something like, I don't want to go with you, or I'm not putting my money with yours. On the surface, it seems like a really general statement and it's just coming from a venomous place. However, usually there's some background in there. What the person really may be trying to say is, we've tried putting our money together before and it caused us to be in a really bad financial deficit. And I am scared to death to put my money with you. I don't trust you. I haven't forgiven you for the last incident and I'm not trying to forgive you. Or, I don't want to go with you. Could simply mean, the last time I went out with you, you embarrassed me. We were around a bunch of our peers. I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't feel supported. You didn't engage me in conversation. You just kind of left me out there hanging. And as a result, my self-esteem and self-worth and image is really damaged. And so I don't want to have anything else to do with going out with you. You pick your scenario. My point is, sometimes when we're in heated discussions with our partners, the story behind the sale is what really speaks. The story behind the sale is the heart of you. It's your truth. Work on stating your truth clearly and concisely and not using the defense mechanism of anger to try to protect yourself. If you're in a relationship and it doesn't yield you opportunities to grow in being vulnerable and transparent, you really need to check that relationship. Whether it's a committed relationship or a long-term commitment relationship, you need to look at it. No one should ever feel like they have to use any defense mechanism to protect themselves in a relationship. Another defense mechanism that's very, very commonly used is passive aggressiveness. To kind of not say what you really want to say, but kind of say it. You know, when you're in a heated discussion and the person is going at you really hard and strong, and you say, I'm okay with it, I forgive you, or we don't have to talk about it anymore, it's over, it's done with. Harboring resentment and bitterness the whole time, and nobody ever knows. 5, 10 years later, you all are having a bad disagreement, you're on the verge of divorce, and you bring up that incident where you said, I was okay, or I'm over it, when you really weren't. Not speaking your truth, the true story behind your sale. I encourage you to stretch yourself and explore your story. Again, whether that be with a professional counselor, a spiritual guide, a mentor, whomever, just do your work. Do your work individually so that you can be a great couple collectively. If you've experienced any of the examples that I've stated in your marriage or your committed relationship, sit down with your partner and simply ask, do I give you permission to be vulnerable? Do you feel comfortable with me? And if there's any instance of hesitancy, you need to seek out some help. Whatever that looks like for you, however you want to define it. My point is, be a healthy couple. Strive to be committed to each other and to deepen your levels of intimacy. Not just physical intimacy, but intellectually, emotionally, financially. I could go on. Check out another video to learn more about the different layers of intimacy. But my point is, give yourself permission to explore that so that you can have a healthy relationship. Thank you again, Elatio. I appreciate your insights. They gave me the inspiration for today's post. I hope everybody enjoys it. Please, please like my page. Please, please share it with a friend. I'm really trying to reach a goal by the end of June, and I need your help to do so. I hope that you find this information helpful. I hope that it continues to bless you and enrich somebody else that you may share it with. Happy sailing, and be well.